What's up, everybody? It's your boy Deonte Burden, aka Mr. Short Dog himself. Listen, I want to make a video regarding recession because I get a lot of questions regarding the recession. People asking, "Are we in a recession? What exactly is a recession? What are the effects of a recession? And how do we even come out of a recession if we do come into it?" So I made this video, just pretty much give you guys a presentation to explain the questions that I just brought up in regard to a recession. And hopefully by the end of the video, you've understood exactly what a recession is, how it works, what causes it, and ways we can come out of it. First, by definition, a recession is an economic slowdown where trade and production decline, usually identified by a fall in GDP, which is the gross domestic product, over two successive quarters. Okay, we start looking at successive quarters. We know quarters, every 3 months. With that, so typically, you have your economists. They'll look at the GDP or the national expenditure, or world expenditure, what the output of a particular nation is having, and you use that measure to kind of see if a country has entered in a recession going based off a 2 year period. Some of the basic causes of a recession: you have business or consumer confidence, and that be people maybe reluctant. You kind of see this at your jobs, or people maybe kind of start thinking about laying people off. That may start People may be a little reluctant to buy certain things, because they don't know if they're going to have work. They don't know if they're going to get hours taken away, or how things will swing. Falling wages, supervisor comes in there and tell you guys, hey, listen, well, in order for us to keep production going, to keep, you guys fully staffed, so no one doesn't have to get furloughed or get laid off and things like that, we may have to drop, the actual wages or things like that, or even new hires. They may come in at a lower rate. Deflation is kind of like an accelerated decrease in prices, just like we have inflation, was is just a basic spike in prices. Deflation is the exact opposite of it. Your fiscal policy. Fiscal policy, basically the actual procedures or policies that a government organizations may have as far as their spending, as far as over budgeting, under budgeting, not spending at all. That's basically a fiscal policy. Pandemic or national disaster. We all know what we all went through COVID-19 back in 2020, 2021. Even though we still have some kind of adjustment periods now in 2022. Interest rates. We kind of see they can be, certain interest rate can be going in a certain direction, usually going up. That can cause people to be more reluctant to buy or to purchase things. We understand that the uh, the interest rate dictates the actual long term or even short term cost of certain items, be it a house, be it a car, be it loans, things like that. So that has a predominant effect rather. We start talking about what can cause a recession and political unrest. You see this a lot with unstable economies, unstable governments. Whereas because uh, uh, you don't have a stable political environment. You see some of the countries where they have coups, where they have insurgents take over. Even some countries that are even, maybe at war and things like that. It can sometimes you've heard that is that war can speed up economy. It also can put you in a lot of peril depending if you're not producing anything, but you're spending all your money trying to keep the war going. So those a couple of reasons, couple of causes of a recession. We're going to be going back to GDP, which is the gross domestic product. Well, we look at the four components of GDP is personal consumption. That's individuals or end consumers like yourself, putting out money out there. That may be from a food perspective. That may be from a clothing perspective. That may be automobiles or cars, things like that. What people are spending out there in the economy. The second is business investments. That's what any kind of expenditures that businesses are putting out there. Are businesses creating new jobs? Are they actually creating new business? Are they building new offices, acquiring other things? Though from that's the perspective where you're looking at a business investment. Government spending. What is the government doing there? Are they looking to, enlarge things? They're actually increasing the infrastructure. They actually starting new programs, anything like that. Imports and exports, those are goods and services that may be coming into a country and going out of a country. Okay. Those are four components of gross domestic product. We start looking at historical trends. And here's the thing I want you guys to look at. Like I said before, if you look right here, and this is separated, of a couple of years. Now we are already past the second quarter 2022, which was a negative output from a GDP perspective. And this is from our U.S. Census Bureau data for the U.S. Bureau of Economic Analysis. What you guys see here, this is the historical trends in regards to GDP output over certain periods. And if you see, 2018, you had a steady decline, but it wasn't enough to necessarily warrant or quote unquote recession. Maybe just look at, I'm sure you guys have heard the term economic downturn, or maybe just like have some kind of economic decline, but it wasn't necessarily call it or label it as a recession. And you see right here in 2019, yeah, some kind of, small amount of growth, small decline. But then when you hit 2020, and if you look at the first quarter, second quarter, what was going on? The pandemic. And you see right then and there, everything pretty much is like a global shutdown. So you see that there was a decline in that first quarter and just this all out drop in that second quarter. And then when you see there was the increase in that third quarter, that can kind of be misconstrued. Why? Because it wasn't that it was just this massive output. That's when people were coming, the actual world stoppage. People, everything was opening back up, so you had some more of activity. But it wasn't like the economy was booming or anything like that. It's just that the global shutdown was over, and people just started to come out and started to spend. So it's one of the things you see, just that massive spike in that third quarter, and then you see things probably leveling off right there in that fourth quarter. And you see 2021, things being kind of level, dropping a little bit. And then where we are right now, that first quarter 2022. And I don't have it. I couldn't find any scaled out information in regards to the end of the second quarter 2022, but I will tell you it was a decline, but it wasn't a big enough decline for, again, to be labeled quote unquote recession. More so, like I said again, that economic decline, economic downturn, things, and really, you have many economists not really sure exactly what direction everything's going to go. But this is some past historical trends to look at, different recession information and data. So the question comes up now: are we currently in a recession? Right. So what you're looking at right here is GDP data from the U.S. and also from a global perspective, guys. And you see again what we were just looking at, and this is for on an annual basis, from on the world perspective. Like we were just looking at that drop that was at the first quarter of this year, and then guys, you're looking, excuse me, growth projection by region. This is across the world. You're looking at the world perspective. Looks like is projected to be 3.36 in 22, 3.36 in 23. So most economists are expecting from a global perspective, everything be pretty leveled off. The U.S., they're looking at it, still should be steadily declining. So, they are predicting there may possibly be a recession. Same thing with the Euro area, Middle East, somewhat as well. You see some of the emerging Asian emerging and developing in Asia. They're looking like probably don't be a case. And you're looking at some of those places like maybe China or Japan and things like that, because they're still having production, especially like, you look at the chip industry and certain technological standpoints, they may not necessarily be slowing down. They may have dropped a little bit from 2021, but they're looking to have probably some kind of steady production for this year and next year as well. And you see some of the Latin American countries, it's a huge drop, but they're projecting that. And that may be based off, I think most of them, they have crops or even travel as most of, their output when it comes to, just import exports and things that they have there, their economy based as far as revenue coming in their economy. And you have sub-Saharan Africa, same thing, where it's pretty much going to be steady. It's projecting to be steady over the next couple of years. Again, these are projections. And so you look at this kind of information, you got these, very skilled and smart economists getting their opinions on exactly what's going to happen. And you can go on YouTube, you can Google it, and everybody going to have their opinion. But the thing about when you're looking at economics, everything has pretty much a ripple effect. So I say that it means things that you may do in August 2022 The effect of it may not be seen until January, February 2023. So they're trying to make different things or put different things in place to be able to halt, slow down, or turn around completely a recession if it's felt that we are in one, or if one is coming along. So pretty much what are we seeing to kind of be these kind of key indicators to say, hey, are we going in a recession? I know you guys will see the super inflated gas prices. You look at these different gas prices. Some places you see you got over $7 a gallon. I don't know what the highest was nationwide, but it was just crazy how all of a sudden, over a quarter, how gas prices just super spiked. Interest rates going up. If you look at where they're at right now, I think maybe at 6% right now, probably at what, 2 or 3% this time last year. You see some jobs are laying people off. You see some people packing their stuff, getting out of there. Hey, listen, we're going to have to shit trim a little fat because organizations want to be able to, stay afloat. And we all know the easiest thing to trim the fat, the easiest expense to cut off when you want to, make your company lean, or you want to increase profits and decrease expenses, you lower your payroll, right? That might be through layoffs, that may be through, pay restructuring or whatever. But, I wouldn't be, you see these kind of things where some companies laying people off and redoing different departments. Also, guys, what we know is going on, possibly a market crash, real estate market crash, rather. You see that home prices have super spiked, home values have totally went up, and everybody just like, whoa, interest rates have been increasing, home prices are going up. So we also know there's the inverse effect. When interest rates go up, home prices will, kind of level off because people can't buy an expensive home at a high rate. They level off, and what happens? Basic supply and demand. You got more houses out there for in inventory that people willing to buy because the high interest rate and prices start declining, right? So that goes to the next section. What might be coming? You see this brother right here, he looks stressed. Financial peril. People stressing about, what the next dollar gonna come because they might have lost their job. No one's hiring or anything like that. Stress. Poor fellow. Right here, foreclosure. People have, lost their job. Money's not flowing like it should. People be possibly losing their homes. You got this little stick-up kid right here. Give me your money. Look at him. Those kind of things, like, we know that the poorer the economy, that's where you see crime increase and people doing all kind of crazy things. And, just God forbid, you just see people homeless, just lose it all. Be out there on the street begging, or just, really just have a ton of hopelessness in their life. Okay. We'll look at it again, basically what affects you, what can affect you personally. And again, if we enter in a recession, we go into a recession, how could it impact you? Unemployment rates rising, consumer purchases fall off, businesses going bankrupt, closing, and everything. Again, we talk about laying people off, things like that. Individuals will lose their homes. Young people, can't really get, you went to college, you got all these student loans, you got all this youthful energy ready to go tackle the world, and you can't get jobs because people are not even hiring, right? Again, these are some personal ways they can affect you if we were to go into a recession. So you said, D, listen, you let us know what it is, what could cause it, how it looks, and now we're gonna look at possible solutions. So if we, in the event that you do go into a recession, these are the different ways that that economies or governments can infuse certain things to help you spin out of it. Okay. And one thing is just reduce taxes. Okay. We're looking at reducing taxes. Again, taxes getting reduced, people should have more money to spend, more activity in the economy, that should go up. Increase government spending, that could be through cash infusions, different programs to help people out, bringing people back to work, increasing different job opportunities, offering up contracts, creating certain bills to give out, just like the plan for the infrastructure bill, things like that, that can cause more activity in the economy to help people get out of a recession. Reduce interest rate, those kind of things. People be have an opportunity to be able to purchase and acquire different things as far as getting activity in the economy. Like I said before, we know that when the rates are increased, that's usually is like a corrective measure to get everything to adjust and stop. But bring everything back, you have to start back bringing the activity where people can start spending money. So one thing you got to stop the bleeding by raising the rates. Once the bleeding is stopped, you got a Band-Aid on it. Now we lower the rates back. Now people can do what? start back buying, right? Next thing is, just kind of remove some regulations. We're talking about what governments and economies can do. Remove some regulations, lower tariffs. We're talking about imports and exports, increase activity between different economies, different countries, to have activity going on so people can start back spending money, going back to work, businesses are making money, people going back to work, and now you got economy starting back to work and come back alive, okay? Guys, I hope you enjoyed that information in regards to what is a recession, what does it look like, how, what causes it, and also how to come out of it. Again, guys, I am Deonte Burden, aka Mr. Short Dollar himself. Remember, on Mr. Short Dollar YouTube, we talk about personal finance, business, entrepreneurship, and investing. We have over 400 videos on the YouTube channel. We got a grants playlist with over 150 grant opportunities for you guys to take advantage of. We cover business operations, business management, and business financing. Listen, to take advantage of all the great information that we currently have on the channel and on the channel, and all the great information that we have coming down the pipe, hit that $sign in the bottom right-hand corner to subscribe to the channel, and also make sure you hit the bell to get a notification each time we upload a new video. Take care of yourself, guys, and be safe.